herbal medicine, nutritional supplements. What do you need to know about them before you start taking them? I'm Dee Cook, and I'm going to be talking with Dr. Artemis Morris, who is a naturopathic physician and licensed acupuncturist. Thank you for coming, Artemis. I'm really happy about that.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, before we even get into herbs and all of that, would you just tell us about your education and training as a naturopathic physician?
Yes, as a naturopathic physician, we're trained as general practitioners. So there are 4 accredited naturopathic medical schools in the United States. For more information on that, you can go to www.naturopathic.org. And we're trained the same way as a general practitioner MD would be trained in terms of the biology and gross anatomy and all the regular medical courses. There's a couple of places where we differ from MDs, and one is in our philosophy. So we are holistic physicians. We believe in the body, mind, spirit, and how all of the systems interact, so how the body works holistically. And we also use different therapies. So we are the only general practice physicians that are trained in nutrition and in nutritional supplements. So the therapies we use are natural therapies. In some states, we also prescribe pharmaceutical drugs, not yet in Connecticut, but we'll see what happens. And the natural therapies that we use are nutritional supplements.
Excellent. So you work with physicians on occasion, do you, in Connecticut, since you can't prescribe?
Yes, so that's why in Connecticut it's important to, if you are taking pharmaceutical drugs or need to take pharmaceutical drugs, we will refer people to work with another physician, an MD, if they needed an antibiotic.
Right.
But in terms of nutritional supplements, as we're going to talk about, we are the experts to consult with.
Well, let's just talk about herbs and nutritional supplements. What do you mean by that?
Well, the definition of nutritional supplements, this is by the FDA, is really any natural substance that you would consume. And the Dietary Health and Supplement Education Act, it's called DSHEA, of 1994, was the first government definition of what a nutritional supplement is, because people were taking nutritional supplements, and that was the first time the FDA regulated it. And they defined nutritional supplements as any herbs, nutrients, or natural substances, even glandulars, that might be taken in pill form, tea form, many different types of ways to take herbs and supplements. That is natural, and it's regulated as a food substance.
So they don't do the research then that they do for pharmaceuticals, is that correct?
There is a growing body of evidence and research on nutritional supplements, but it does not have the budget by any means that pharmaceutical drugs have. Actually, worked briefly before I went to naturopathic medical school for Bayer, which is kind of interesting. But they would spend at least $1 billion in developing a pharmaceutical drug. Nutritional supplements do not have that kind of budget generally, so nutritional supplement companies will spend maybe thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in creating a quality supplement, but many other supplement companies will just put something out that's really not of good quality, and we'll talk about how to differentiate those two.
Okay. Well, herbs have been around for a long time. You want to just mention something about your Chinese background there?
Yes, I'm also a licensed acupuncturist and have trained in Chinese herbology as well. And there's different ways to look at Chinese herbal medicine. So for that type of advice, you do want to go to someone who's trained in Chinese herbal medicine, and it's a whole system of medicine in and of itself. So that would be another type of natural therapy that you could use for helping prevent illness, for treating acute illness, treating a chronic illness, or providing as an alternative to pharmaceuticals.
Well, so one of the things, though, that you do is, when you say the word holistic, you're thinking about the entire person, the environment they live in, what their lifestyle is like, the heredity factors, all of that. That's very important. Well, let's get back to the herbs. I want to ask you this question. Are they safe?
That is a great question, and probably the most important question is, are herbs and supplements safe? They can be if they are being recommended by someone who knows what they're talking about. And as I talked about in terms of the training naturopathic physician has, they're the only primary care trained physician that can give expert advice on nutritional supplements. Your MD may take a weekend class, your osteopath might take a weekend class, your chiropractor might know a little bit about herbs and supplements, but naturopaths are trained throughout their 4 years of medical school to know about what herbs, what supplements are useful, and what nutrients are useful, and what diets, even therapeutic diets, are useful. I'm currently teaching therapeutic nutrition at the Naturopathic Medical School at Bridgeport, University of Bridgeport.
Oh, that's excellent.
And the education that naturopathic students have really sets us above the rest in terms of looking at the safety of what's being recommended. Because really, nutritional supplements can be dangerous.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that out because, I've heard of some cases in that case. But you cite some examples when you say dangerous.
Definitely. So if your nutritional supplements being recommended by your naturopath, then they are the highest quality of nutritional supplements because we learn about what nutritional supplement companies have the best quality products. They're also going to be most effective because they're more specific and for the individual, and are going to be the right part of the herb or supplement or form that you might need after very careful consideration. But if you're going to the health food store or you read something in a magazine that looks great, or there's an infomercial or a multi-level marketing company, or your Aunt Martha said, go out and get this supplement, it might not be safe. And there's a couple of reasons why. One reason is because it's not well regulated. So we had in 1994 the Dietary Health and Supplement Act that said all nutritional supplements are regulated as food. So they're kind of considered food. But what happened after that is, one example is ma huang is a Chinese herb, and it's ephedra is the other name for it. And everyone's heard of ephedra somewhat.
Yes.
And that was one of the first herbs that was used in China for thousands of years safely. And it was used for asthma, it's used for colds, and has been used thousands of years and very helpful. In the U.S., supplement companies that were not very ethical started using it for weight loss products because it increases your metabolism.
Yes.
And there were deaths from using this herb. So when an herb isn't being used in the right way and is being prescribed in a way or recommended in a way that isn't regulated safely or isn't recommended by an expert naturopathic physician, it can be very dangerous. And in this case, ephedra was taken off the market.
Yes,
so now no one can use it for colds and asthma.
And it's behind the counter when you go into the pharmacy.
Yeah, but still, there are pharmaceuticals that have the same effect, cold medicines that are just as dangerous that are still left on the market. So herbs are a little more vulnerable to abuse at this point by the FDA. And in 2007, the FDA created another regulation on the Dietary Health and Supplement Act. So they're trying to regulate it a little better because after deaths from certain herbs that were being abused, and also from herbs and supplements, for example, probiotics. Have you heard of the probiotics?
I have. Yes.
So those are the live cultures found in yogurt, and they're really good for digestion. Well, there was a study done by Consumer Reports and found that most of the probiotics that were on the shelf did not contain any live organisms, so they weren't going to do anything. So the $10 or $15 you spent on that bottle, there was nothing in it.